Why do people want to buy property in their SMSF? If you've got 200,000 or 300,000, you can get gearing, so you can borrow. It's obviously as well, when you sell that property later in retirement, there is no capital gains tax providing you're in pension phase and over the age of 60. Don't have it go into your personal bank account because that is a no-no. It needs to go into your bank account that is attached and in the name of your SMSF. When buying property through your SMSF, make sure you are signing or executing the bare trust in the right order with the contract of the property you're purchasing. Can't tell you how many times we've dealt with. Welcome to SMSF Insider, where we help busy professionals to gain financial independence using an SMSF. Hi, I'm Troy, founder of Blue Chip SMSF Services. And over the last 20 years, I've helped thousands of Aussies manage the complexities of self-managed super funds. And in this podcast, I'll answer your questions, break down the myths, so you can take charge of your financial freedom. Let's get into it. Just a quick disclaimer and just a reminder that this is not personal advice. So make sure you speak with a licensed advisor before making any investment decision. Don't buy property in your SMSF until you've listened to this episode. Guys, welcome to the episode, this current episode of SMSF Insider. Just talking a little bit about buying property in your SMSF. So why do people want to buy property in their SMSF? Well, mostly because it is a good strategy, all in all, if it's done correctly. You can get gearing, so you can borrow. So you can, if you've got 200,000 or 300,000 and more, you can borrow inside your fund to purchase property. And that's a real, that can be a real big plus over the longer term. So that's one of the main reasons. Obviously as well, is when you sell that property later in retirement, there is no capital gains tax providing you're in pension phase and over the age of 60. So those two benefits combined are why this particular strategy works. What we want to talk about is what can actually go wrong. So we want to understand what are the pros and cons, and we want to start with what are the risks associated with this particular strategy. One of them is obviously when you're purchasing property and you've only got enough money to purchase in your fund to purchase one particular property, the fund becomes a little bit illiquid. So you don't have a lot of diversification. So you've just got one lumpy asset in the fund. Although the strategy will still work potentially if you're buying in the right areas, you don't have any diversification. So if you are using this strategy, it is good to certainly have some cash, but it does work better when you are diversifying and you've got other assets in your fund. Having one property or a single asset in your fund can work, but it is preferred. It is beneficial if you've got some diversification. So that's one thing. So you want to make sure you've got diversification. You can't live in the property. So those that think that they can purchase the property and then live in the property, that is a no-no. So you cannot do that, but you can live in the property once you retire. You can transfer the fund into your own name and move into the property at that point, but you cannot do that, or you can't even lease it to or rent it out to a family member during that time. So you can't lease it to a brother, sister, mum, dad, uncle, auntie. It needs to be an arm's length tenant that's renting the property. Selling takes a bit of time. So if you're wanting to sell the property, I mean, the current market, it's okay, but in downtimes, it can take some time to sell a property. So you need to be mindful of that when you're purchasing property through your SMSF. And it does obviously cost. There is a cost associated with selling a property with agent fees. So you need to be mindful of your exit strategies in that regard as well. Common mistakes when buying property through your SMSF. So you want to make sure you're purchasing it in the name of the SMSF or the bare trust if you've got borrowings. So making sure you get that part right. Make sure your solicitor is that you're engaging to do your conveyancing. It knows which name to put on the contract. I can't tell you how many times we've dealt with solicitors that are asking us for the entity name to put on the contract. I mean, we create the entities, but we don't give advice on which name goes on the contract. We know which one's supposed to go on there, and so should they. So make sure you're choosing a solicitor that knows which entity should be going on the contract. And also make sure you are signing or executing the bare trust in the right order with the contract of the property you're purchasing. So each state is different. You need to understand which needs to be executed first, whether it's the property contract or the bare trust. So make sure you get that part right. Speak to your solicitor about that. They should be able to give you the right advice in that regard. Just quickly, guys, if you're a busy professional, fed up with traditional super funds and overwhelmed by the setup of your SMSF, we can help. Book in a call with my team using the link in the show notes, and let's build your future on your terms. Now, back to the episode. So you want to make sure that the tenants are paying is going into the bank account that is the bank account for your SMSF. So don't have it go into your personal bank account, because that is a no-no. It needs to go into your bank account that is attached and in the name of your SMSF. So every SMSF must have a bank account attached to it. Otherwise, it's not going to be able to accept rollovers, firstly, when it's established. It's not going to be able to accept contributions from your employer and personal contributions, and it's not going to be able to pay any outgoings of the fund. So make sure you have a bank account set up in the name of your SMSF. Engage someone who knows what they're doing, because it is a complex structure to establish. So get the right advice and have it done right the first time. Otherwise, it can be a costly mistake. When does it actually make sense? So I've covered off on all the don'ts or the cons. Now it's time to talk about the flip side of the coin. So you should do it when you've got enough to have a bit of a balance in your portfolio, so you can have property and some shares. Obviously, that's a great time to do it, having a bit of diversification. Stress test the structure to make sure it's to make sure you have when you have diversification, you're going to be less likely to see volatility during those downtimes. So making sure you've got some not just the growth assets, but some defensive assets in there as well. And make sure you understand all of the legal obligations, because there are quite a few. Your SMSF professional should be able to assist you in this area and help you navigate the minefield that is SMSFs. So yeah, do work with an SMSF specialist, because trying to do this yourself can be a nightmare, and will be a nightmare for you. So do engage somebody who knows what they're doing. The last one is what you need in place to have a successful SMSF, and that is get some advice. Make sure you have people in your corner who have experience in the space. Don't speak to your next door neighbor or your gardener or somebody else who doesn't really have experience in this space. Speak to someone who has experience in the space. You wouldn't take advice if you're having heart surgery. You wouldn't get advice from your next door neighbor. So don't do that with your SMSF. Get specialist advice, do it right, and your SMSF should be a success. Thank you for listening, guys. If you have any comments, drop them in the comment section below. If you'd like us to talk about something in particular, we'd love to hear it, and we'd love to chat about it. So please shoot us a message, and we'll try and include it in one of our upcoming episodes. Thanks for listening to SMSF Insider. Thanks for tuning in to this episode of SMSF Insider. If you got value from this, make sure you subscribe so you never miss the strategies we share to help you take control of your financial future. Find us on socials at Blue Chip SMSF, or book a call with our team to see if we can help you.